Hey guys, I hope you're ready for some super relaxing and satisfying cleaning. You're going to be joining me for multiple nights of super satisfying cleaning. We're going to be getting it done, and I'm also trying out a new cleaning tool that might be pretty helpful to a lot of you guys. So let's get ready and let's do this together.
Drive around in a city full of shame. Everything feels hollow when you are away.
Hey guys, welcome to Jamie's Journey. I am going to be bringing you along multiple nights of relaxing cleaning. And this was the first night. This was actually a Monday night, and I was getting started. We had a very, very busy weekend. The house was a disaster, like seriously a disaster. And I will show you here in a minute. But Addison, my little helper, wanted to help mommy start the laundry, and then the girls were going to help me clean up the living room, and then I was going to send them all downstairs, and I was going to be able to clean in peace. It was like one of those times. We just had a really, really busy weekend. It was a busy Monday. And then the house was just a disaster. So I was like, okay, I need your help for a little bit. And then I'm sending you all down in the basement with Dad so I can just get it all cleaned up by myself and in peace. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with Orbeez, but they're like these little tiny beads that when you put them in water, they blow up. And it's just so crazy because if you looked at the bowl, it didn't look like there was anything in there until I put my hand in there. I don't know. I guess I don't know what the purpose of them are, but the kids love them. So they've just been sitting in the bowl for the past couple of days. But here I was just cleaning up after a long day, a really yummy meal. It was I forget what it's called, but it's basically just like chicken and rice, a crock pot chicken and rice. And when the girls were eating it, which they have gotten really, really picky. If you guys have any picky eater suggestions, please let me know. All three of them have gotten picky. And I don't think it's necessarily that all three of them have gotten picky. I think it's more along the lines of when one says, I don't like it or I don't want this, then the other two follow. So I made this chicken and rice meal. I'll have it actually linked in the description, the full recipe, but I got multiple and I was like, yes. So I was really excited about that, but the girls really liked it. So I had noticed that there was some syrup that was spilled in the refrigerator, and I think because of our dinner and the rice, the sink was really gross. There was stuff stuck in the cracks of the sink, so I busted out my Bissell Steam Shot hand steamer, and I was going to use that to loosen up the really sticky syrup, and then I was going to take some Dawn Power Wash, spray it on there, and then take some paper towels soaked in very hot water and lay it on there just to loosen it up even more. But the steamer does a really good job. That's, I think, one of the best things about this is if you have any tough messes, it will loosen all of those messes up. Like you're seeing right here, all of that rice that was stuck in there, it just blasted it all away. And then with the syrup, syrup can be pretty sticky. So in the refrigerator, it loosened it all up, so it was a lot easier to quickly wipe away. So I'm really excited in today's video because I'm trying out a new cleaning tool, and you guys know me, I'm always like on the hunt to find different cleaning tools or new tools that will just make cleaning easier for you, for me, make it more fun. So I found something. I was influenced by Instagram, so we will see how well it performs. But make sure you stick around because I'm going to test the tool here in a minute at night, but then I'm going to test it in a couple of days during the day to really get a full picture of how it works in different daylights. So 2 different times, I want to give it a full review. So stay tuned and watch for when I clean here in a couple of days. I'm going to be cleaning my oven today because you can see there was some stuff stuck on the bottom, and we had used the oven the day before and all that stuff was getting burnt and it was smelling up the house. But here in a minute, I am going to share the high point to my week, the low point to my week, and I'll share that while I am cleaning just a few cushions on my couch. One of the kids, one of the twins, had gotten into a chocolate snack that was in the kitchen, and they were supposed to finish it in the kitchen, and they wandered for a little bit over into the living room and got a little bit of chocolate on the couch. And this is my baby. I love this couch. It's less than 2 years old, so I want to take care of it. So I was going to vacuum and then use my Bissell little green machine and quickly clean that up. I didn't have time to clean the whole couch. I'll do that here soon, in a couple of weeks, but just kind of spot cleaning. So something else I'm going to share here in a little bit is someone had asked me, what are some things that we have at the new house that we don't have currently in our current home, or what are some things that we won't have in the new home that we really like in our current home. So I'll explain all of that later. There's one that I'm like, oh, you guys are going to give me so much crap for it. But yeah, I'll explain some of the main things here in a little bit. But my low point to the week, I like to start out with the low point so we can end on a positive. The low point to my week is I have a friend who is going through a very, very tough time, and we spent a lot of time talking this week, and my heart just breaks for her for many reasons. And I just hope that if any of you guys are going through a tough time, that you have someone you can reach out and talk to. It's just been a really, really tough week, because you never like watching your loved ones go through tough times. And I've just been sending a lot of prayers to her, praying a lot for her, and just try to be there and help her as much as I can. So I hope if you guys are in that same boat, I hope you have a safe space, a safe person that you can express your feelings and just kind of talk to.
Why am I not like her? Be more so. Why must the curtains come down? Why must the curtains come down? Softness now.
All right, so you take this little guy. So it came with solution. I did read a quick review online, and someone said they preferred their own glass cleaner. So I don't know, you guys can let me know if you've used this. So use this to get the solution and scrub any smudges that are on your window, and then that suctions it and dries it.
Why am I not like her? A bit more so. Why must the curtains come down? Softness now. Why is it hard on my own? Why is it hard on my own? Why am I not like her? A bit more so. Why must the curtains come down? Why must the curtains come down? Softness now. In the end, I wish to be someone better. Help me with this comparison. Call me mysterious.
So like I said earlier, I wanted to give this a go. I wanted to give it a try here, but I also wanted to give it a try in the daylight, because you know when you're washing windows in sunlight, you can kind of see the streaks a little bit better. So I didn't want to just test it at night, so stay tuned, because I'm going to try it here in a couple of days and really test and see how it works in both different lights. But let's share the high point to my week. I kind of have two. So the 2 points, one is just with Halloween coming up. Halloween is actually my favorite holiday. I love it. I love like thriller and scary movies and all of that. I just love like the spookiness of the season. Fall is my favorite season, so I think that also adds to it. But I just love Halloween. The kids love it, and it's even more fun when you have little kids. So the anticipation of Halloween is part of my good week. And then the other part of my good week was we are finally slowing down a little bit in our social lives. Well, not social lives, I guess we're not being social. Just like with activities and just stuff we have going on with like family, like events. And it's just been an incredibly busy late summer and early fall. And I think with us gearing up to move, we've had a lot of extra stuff on our plate. And so that just adds to it. And Mike and I were talking this past weekend. This was like our last weekend that was really busy. That's why the house was so messy after the weekend. But I was telling him, I think that it's fine on the weekends because you just feel like it's part of the regular week. Like it's just that like Monday through Friday grind. That's kind of how it feels on the weekends when we're busy. But then I think it hits us on Monday when you jump right back into the school week and all of that. That's when you're like, okay, well, I feel like I've been running a marathon and I never got a chance to just chill out for a little bit. So, like I said, because we've been using all of any free time we have, getting the house ready to go, starting packing and all of that. And there's just like a lot of stuff, obviously, behind the scenes that you have to do when you're selling a home. So it's been a lot, and we have a Halloween party this Saturday, and that's really it. So it's just nice to get a breather. Okay, so I think this was my fault. When I sprayed the Sprayway oven cleaner in here, I think Mike had used the oven not right before. Like, it did not feel hot at all when I sprayed it, but I could tell by the way, after I let the oven cleaner sit for a little bit, I could tell how it kind of dried. I think the oven was still very slightly hot, and it just almost like baked on to the oven, which probably made my job a little bit harder. So what I did was, it was actually fine. I took my Scrub Daddy Power Paste. You guys, that stuff is amazing. Scrub Daddy Power Paste, and use that in combination to scrub all of that stuff out. I'll link the little scraper tool that I used, or it's a very similar one. It's actually a better one than the one that I have, and that does really good. Of course, the oven doesn't look perfect, but it looks way better. And a question I get a lot is people will say, well, why don't you just use your self-cleaning oven feature? Now, I don't know if this is entirely true, but I heard that it's not good to do the self-cleaning oven. You don't want to do it very often, and I guess just with how hot the oven has to get to burn all of that stuff off, I've heard it's not good. So I don't know if that's true or not, but I know not all ovens have that anyways.
Something's in the air. I can feel it everywhere. Every color seems to bloom, and there's light in every room. Now that you're looking up, I can see it in your eyes that lately it's been tough. But now the sun is rising. And we're new people, let's be new people. There's summer, don't let me down.
So to wipe down these pendant lights, I'm just using, well, I first went in with a regular microfiber cloth dry and got all of the dust, or as much dust as I could first, and then I sprayed a new microfiber cloth dry. It was a dry cloth. I sprayed it with my DIY cleaner that is 1 part rubbing alcohol, 1 part water, and about a fingernail size of Dawn dish soap, and I just shined it all up. I did get someone who asked me, they're like, can you give me exact dimensions? And when I say 1 part versus 1 part, I say that because I don't know how high or how big your spray bottle is. It's going to vary depending on how big your spray bottle is. So that's why it's 1 part of rubbing alcohol and 1 part of water.
Let the rain wash away the tears that keeps crippling. Now that you're looking up, I can see it in your eyes that lately it's been tough. But now the sun is rising, and we're new people. Let's be new people. There's summer. Don't let me down, down, down. Don't let me down, down, down. I wanna be up, 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 so high. 'Cause I've been down, down, down. I've been down, so down, and I'm done. I'm aiming for the sky.
I kind of have a pretty watchful eye now, even more so than I did before, just kind of making, like knowing that this isn't going to be our house soon, trying to make sure there's no super gross messes and like the corners or things that I maybe have overlooked. And I saw behind the toilet was kind of dusty. I thought it was pretty dusty. And so I got my Scrub Daddy damp duster, and you just wet this. It's like a little sponge that you wet. It's pretty hard, and then when you burn it underwater, it gets really soft, and it's just a very quick and easy way to damp dust your baseboards or wherever you have a lot of dust. Actually, just before I started recording these voiceovers, ordered 2 more from the Scrub Daddy website, and I also got a few other things. So, man, Scrub Daddy, they make some good products. so let's talk some of the things that we have in the new house that we don't have here, or vice versa. So the one thing, I know I'm going to get so much crap for this. You guys are going to be so mad. And I say this like jokingly, like you guys aren't, it's obviously our house, but I'm going to get so much crap for this. We have carpet in our house, in the living room and in the bedrooms. Obviously, we have hardwood in the kitchen, and then like in the down the hallway to the front door and things like that, and in the back hallway. But yes, we have carpet, and I've gotten so many messages from you. Every time I clean my carpet, people are like, yeah, make sure you don't get carpet in the new house. There's kind of two reasons. Number one, throughout the entire process, Mike, my husband, he had an opinion for sure through everything, but he agreed with everything I said, which I guess was good. Maybe we just have the same style. I mean, Mike's pretty laid back, go with the flow. Unless he really doesn't like something, he's really not going to say anything. Like he's a simple man at the end of the day. So the one thing he really, well, there was probably two things he cared about. One was he really, really, really wanted carpet in the living room. And I was like, I kind of feel both ways. And I know you guys probably think this is crazy. I think it depends on where you live in the country, where you live in the world. But in Northwest Ohio, and if you live in Northwest Ohio, maybe you agree with me, maybe you don't. My parents are the only people that I know, houses that I have been into, all of my friends and family, everyone has carpet in their living room. My parents are the only people who have hardwood all throughout their home. So to give you an example of, it's very common. It's actually uncommon to not have carpet in your living room. It is extremely cold here a majority of the year, probably 7 months out of the year. It is very cold, and I like the coziness of carpet. Like I do, but I like the cleanliness and the look of hardwood. So if it would have been left up to me, to be honest with you, I would have been on the fence, because I think there's pros and cons to both, especially living in a cold climate. But that was one thing that Mike really, really wanted. And so that kind of made it a little bit easier for me. So don't hate me. But yes, people have carpet in our living room. Luckily, I like to clean, so I'll just have to clean that carpet a lot. But I'll explain a few other features here in a minute. Something else that is different is, well, the carpet was the same, but our laundry room will be on the bottom floor, or like the main level. Now, we get asked all the time, like, what do we think about having the laundry on the second floor in our current home? And honestly, I really, really like it. But we chose this layout. We weren't able to alter the layout. We didn't custom build, so we weren't able to alter the layout. So that's just how it was. And I kind of think the laundry room upstairs versus downstairs is kind of the same situation. I think there's pros and cons to it. I like having it upstairs in our current home because I can keep all of the laundry upstairs with the bedrooms, because our bedroom will be upstairs with the kids. So like it's certainly nice to have it all like on the same level where you have your bedrooms, but at the same time, I know this is so lazy, but you know how often, I mean, usually the laundry gets folded at the end of the night. Well, Mike and I are downstairs watching TV, or I'm doing stuff in the kitchen or cleaning to run back up and back, up and down the stairs. I don't know. Like, I think it'll be kind of nice. And then we'll have like a little mudroom area, like the back hallway. There'll be a separate entrance from the garage, from the driveway, that the kids can come in like after practice. There'll be like a little locker system so they can take off their shoes. And then if they're really dirty for whatever reason, the laundry room will be right there. So I think as the kids get older, especially in a new build, there's going to be a lot of mud and dirt because we're not going to have grass for a while. So I think it'll actually kind of be nice to have it right there. So when I'm done using my Tinco iFloor 2, I take all the parts off. Well, first I run the self-cleaning cycle. It has to be plugged in, and then I take all the parts and then I hand wash them, and then I let them air dry. But really quickly, you guys, so I personally love my Tinco iFloor 2, but there are two cons that I notice, and I know a lot of you guys do. I still love it. The cons don't break the machine for me, but there are two major cons. And I'm trying out a new wet dry vacuum that's supposed to address those two cons. So this one is supposed to be like the all-around best package for a wet dry vac, but I want to try it out. So stay tuned for that. I've actually been trying it out and it works pretty good. But it is a little bit more expensive. So it might be the full package, but it's a little bit more expensive than the Tinco. But I like trying out different options depending on like your specific needs and things like that. So I'm going to keep trying it out, and I will keep you updated and let you know truly what I think. So that way, if the cons for the Tinco iFloor is a deal breaker for you, then this could be another option. Something else is we will have a bigger garage, which will be nice, you know, because Mike has a truck, I have an SUV, 3 kids with bikes and scooters and snowblower and all of that stuff. So it'll be nice to have more room. And then there's also an office that is right when you walk in the front door, so separate from the bedrooms, which will be nice. Everyone can have their own bedroom. The twins want to start out sharing, but when they want to have their own room, they will have that option. But it'll just be nice because to have a separate space for an office. Okay, so it's a few days later, and I wanted to test out the Karcher. I wanted to test that out in the daylight on the windows, because I find that that's typically where I can see my window cleaning mistakes, is when there's sunlight coming in. That's when I can see how streaky, that's when I can see how streaky my windows are. So let's put it to the test. Okay, so I know it's really hard for you guys to see because of the light. When I direct the camera at bright light like that, it usually makes it really hard to see. But I have to say, I am very, very impressed with this. I do see a little bit of streaking, like right here. You guys can't see it on camera. It's very, very light, and then I notice it here on the bottom, and I think I know why. So I think those are the areas where it's really hard for me, like because of the handle, like I get stuck and I can't completely vacuum, and like, because you're trying to maneuver around the handle, right? So I'm guessing the fact that there's some streaks here and then down here, and then I do one swipe that's like horizontal, and I just think there was like a few spots that it's where it came together. It's where the Karcher came together at that point. It's not very cheap. So I think it works great so far, but what I want to do is I want to try it on my parents' shower door, which I think I'm going to go there in a couple of weeks and I'll film it. I'll try it on their shower doors because that's where I think it could be really game changing, and we're going to have all glass shower doors in the new house. So that was like the main reason why I bought it, and we're going to have a lot of windows in our like great room area, and that's the other reason why I bought it. But it's not a cheap cleaning tool. So I want to test it on different areas, in different sunlight, in different windows, to tell you truly what I think. So stay tuned. But so far, I'm really liking it.
I really wanted to get it right, trying to find some balance in my life, but I never really put up a fight, didn't follow my dreams, and now I'm losing sleep. What if I lost touch? What if I'll never get it right? I try to follow my heart, but I lost it somehow. Wish that someone could say it'll all be okay. Just listen to me as I say. Slow it down, dreams still yours if you want it. Enjoy the ride, 'cause those ups and those downs is what makes it worth the while. You will make it in time.
So here I am trying to continue along and get done what I wanted to get done for this week. But yeah, we're gonna have, in the new house, we'll have a covered patio. That's something I think Mike and I are really, really excited about. That was one thing he really wanted, and I did too. We love sitting outside, and we don't really do it as much as we like to do, just because of our backyard situation and just having neighbors on top of you. You know, you just want to go outside, you know, not as much or not as often. So we're really excited because we have a pond behind us, so we'll have that privacy, and it kind of looks out into a field, so you almost feel like you're in the country even though we're in a neighborhood. And I'm just envisioning sitting out there in the summertime watching the kids play. Well, not for a while. We're not going to have grass. That's going to be the not fun part next summer, is because we will not have grass. We will have it hydro seeded, I think is what it's called. But yeah, we're not gonna have grass for a while, so I'm kind of cringing inside, like, get ready, Jamie, buckle up for the mess, the mud, everything getting tracked in. When we moved into our current home, it was less than a year old. We bought it from some people who had built the house and then got relocated because of a job. So they left, we got it, and there was still no grass because it was in the springtime. And back then we didn't have kids. I mean, Avery was 2 weeks old, but we had Reese, our dog, and that was enough of a chore. But I'm pretty sure 3 kids will be a lot harder to clean up and manage. So gearing myself up and preparing myself up.
Makes it worth the while. You will make it in time. You'll make it in time. Time. You'll make it in time. Time. What makes it worth the while. You will make it in time.
So thank you guys so much for being here. I promise you I'm going to take you over to the house when we can. We did go over there the other day and I was going to get some clips, but there was a lot of people there working and I just don't think it's fair to them. Like, I'm not whipping out a camera. We were doing a lot of talking with the builder, and so the situation just didn't seem right. But we're going over there a lot more now that we're at the end of the process. So I'm pretty sure I will have an update within the next, like, if maybe not next Sunday, maybe the Sunday after. But we're almost to the end. Right now they're saying mid-December, so we're getting there. We're going over there a lot. So when the opportunity is right, I will get some clips and show you guys, even if it's just some pictures. I'll try to get that soon. Well, I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm not ready to close out the video. I always like to make for sure I express my gratitude for you. I see a lot of other people who are on social media, whether it's YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and there can be a lot of hate. And especially as your audience grows, there is negativity that gets brought up. And despite all of the social accounts that I have, I get very, very little negativity and hate. And that's just a reflection of you guys. And so I'm so grateful to have a positive community here. And you guys really do mean the world to me. And I care about you. I do. So thank you for showing up, being here, taking time out of your busy lives to be here with me. I'm so grateful and lucky for you guys. I hope you have a wonderful week, a happy Halloween. And let's gear up because November is going to be a fun month for us. We're going to be packing and then moving in early December.